Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Caramel Sunday's Crisp Country Apple. Now, this fragrance I did just purchase in the September restock, which I did my full haul video, I think was that last week now? You guys, the days all seem to be running together. Raise your hand if you feel like the month of September just seemed to have flown by. But anyways, we all know that Caramel Sundays, if you shop with the brand, they are done with their fall releases. However, I have come to the place where I want to make sure that I have post-burn reviews up of all of the candles that I am purchasing from them, because now that I have been purchasing from the brand for about a year, I do recognize that there are some fragrances that do come back. I don't know if this one will be when they launch their fall products, probably next summer. I would imagine they're going to launch those again probably next June. But I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and play things safe, and let's go ahead and film my thoughts so that way if this fragrance does make a return, you guys will have a video to reference. So Crisp Country Apple. If you guys caught my Caramel Sunday September wish list, you guys know that this was actually my highest priority candle to get during the September restock. And the reason why is because this fragrance I have actually already had in their all-purpose cleaner. The household cleaners are making a return in October. I know that they weren't available during the September restock. And I have mentioned that my family really, really loved this fragrance. In fact, this is the fragrance that every time I clean the kitchen, I got compliments from every single person in my family. So when they offered this fragrance in candle format, I thought, oh boy, I had better get this one because I already know that my family loves it. So before we get into the fragrance notes, this vessel that I am reviewing in this review is their 4-wick 40-ounce 100% soy wax candle. Caramel Sundays prides themselves on being a small business that specializes in non-toxic home fragrance. There are no parabens, phthalates, VOCs, any of the things that we are concerned about in some candles, at least I am at least. This candle retails for $64.99, and that does include the cost of shipping. Fragrance notes on Crisp Country Apple are top notes of green leaves and pear, mid notes of apple, base note of vanilla. So I'm going to go ahead and show real quick because I still do have a little bit of the cleaner here. So this was the cleaner that I had, and the description on the cleaner says fresh sliced Macintosh apples on it. Again, this cleaner, amazing. John and Sierra, please bring this back. It is incredible. Okay, Crisp Country Apple. What does it smell like to my nose? You guys, this is not like a gourmand bakery apple. This is definitely like a fresh apple type of fragrance. There are no other real like notes, say like an outdoorsy vibe. This is just the best way that I can describe this. This is your good, if you are a basic apple person, like you just want a good fruity apple. You don't want spices mixed in there. You don't want pie crust. You don't want crumble. You don't want any of those things. You don't want bakery apple. You just want a freshly sliced apple scent. Then this is the one for you. Now, I will say that I do detect a little bit of pear in this candle. And the other thing that I would say is that I made a comparison in my in the haul video that this fragrance is kind of along the lines. It is not a dupe, but if you've ever smelled Kringle Candle's Apple Leaf, that candle smells like a freshly picked apple off of a tree. You get a little bit of that woody stemminess to it. While I would say that this fragrance, you don't get any woodiness at all to it, this to me definitely smells like a Macintosh apple that has been kind of like freshly picked and then freshly sliced. It's a very, very fresh apple. It's not even one that's kind of been like sitting in your fridge and now it's starting to get a little bit mealy. No, this is a very crisp apple. I think that the name of this one is very appropriate. Again, if you are somebody who just wants a good fruity apple scent, you don't want the bakery aspects, you don't want any gourmand, you don't want any spice added to it, then you are going to love it. Because it is just a good apple scent, I feel like this is a very versatile fragrance. But again, there's a freshness to it. that again, I think it's that green leaves and the pear that kind of just gives it a little bit more of that zing. It is definitely more of a Macintosh apple to me. It's not as tart as like a Granny Smith, not as sweet as say as a Fuji or a Honeycrisp. Definitely probably just more in line with a Macintosh apple. So if you're somebody who tends to like Macintosh apple fragrances, I think that you guys like this one. I mean this in the best way as a compliment. This is just a fantastic basic apple fragrance for those of you guys who really enjoy that in the fall. That being said, you guys, this fragrance is distinctly fall to me. I personally don't really burn apple fragrances outside of the months of like say late August through early October. Usually by late October, I'm over the apple scents. That is just me. I'm a pretty seasonal burner, but overall, you guys, the fragrance, absolutely love it. It is what I thought it would be. My family still loves it. The only thing I am going to say about this one is that I do feel like after I hit that like 4-hour burn mark, I do start to detect that pear note becomes kind of like, it becomes how would I describe it? Like almost like super sweet to where my nose starts to like play tricks on me where I'm like, do I love this as much? So the only thing that I would say is that I do enjoy this fragrance. I love the fragrance actually, but something happens after about the 4-hour burn mark where I start to feel like I've had enough of it. And then I want to go ahead and extinguish it. So speaking of being at the 4-hour burn mark, that is actually where I am at right now as I am filming this review. You can see I have a nice deep wax pool going on this candle. I will go ahead and lift it up, and so that way you can see the wicks. I'm having no wick issues at all with this. I have mentioned with the Caramel Sundays 4 wicks, you do want to be very cautious about trimming those wicks because you do see that they kind of tend to lean a little bit downwards. And I did experience in 2 4-wick candles that I got during the June restock that I do believe that I may have been a little bit aggressive in trimming the wicks upon the first 2 burns of those candles. And I do feel like it did affect the performance of those candles moving forward. So I would just caution you, these 4 wicks, unless you feel like the wicks are getting so long and they're drooping into the wax pool, do not trim them. Otherwise, just let them be. I haven't really dealt with big like exploding carbon balls or anything like that, but that would just be my advice on these 4 wicks is to not trim the wicks unless it is absolutely necessary. Strength and throw on this candle, you guys, it's very solid. This is a good 8.5, almost 9 in terms of strength and throw for me. It is definitely filling up the open concept. I would say that the strength is almost greater than the throw on it. Throw is about an 8 on it, but the strength is pretty good, you guys. Strength is almost 8.5, 9. It is, like I said, one of those fragrances that I enjoy, but after about 4 hours, I've had enough of it and I want to switch things up. That could just be me. But performance has been excellent in this 4-wick format. So overall, if this candle makes a comeback next year in this 4-wick format, it definitely gets a 2 thumbs up from me. I don't know how it would perform in the 2-wick, but my thoughts on the 4-wick is that this is a great fragrance to have on hand. It's a great blender. You can burn this with a lot of pumpkin fragrances. You can burn this with like cinnamon fragrances, like their coffin cake scent. It pairs really nicely with. I actually, right now, my favorite pairing is actually this fragrance along with leaf peeper from Kringle Candle, which is like their version of leaves. I've really been enjoying that. So yes, 2 thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below if you happen to have purchased this candle during the September restock or if you happen to have had it in the all-purpose cleaner. Let me know what your thoughts are. But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you are new. I like to do a lot of dedicated candle reviews on my channel. Usually I will upload those throughout the week, and then on the weekends I usually like to upload more fun content. Sometimes I do candle chat, hauls, empties, everything in between. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure you're subscribed. I do want to say thank you so very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.